7:11 here on BT. We're going to send things over to Sid and Mel next. Good morning, guys.
Tam, morning.
Morning, Tam. Let's bring Tam back into the conversation here and revisit part of the Doug Ford moment from Friday where he's okay, but did swallow a bee live during a news conference, which we've never seen. But he said in it, holy C word.
Yes.
I can't say what he said, can I?
I don't think so.
Am I allowed on this show to say that?
It's a religious reference.
We just ran it, though, uncensored.
We ran it,
he said it. But in the context of...
In the context of I swallowed a bee, I'm really concerned. I got to be honest with you. I'd say a lot worse on an open mic if that happened to me.
Yeah.
Full disclosure.
Can you imagine if that happened to Sid, by the way? What would happen?
Oh, my goodness. I'm taking all of August off. I'm done. I have to recover. But so Doug Ford in that moment swore, and I was okay with it. I was 100% okay with it. But it got us to thinking, and it was a conversation we had off camera last week that we didn't get to, but I think it's now super relevant. Politicians swearing. So we have a clip out of Texas, and there's a Democrat named Beto O'Rourke who I like but has lost a lot of elections over the last several years. He is running to be governor of Texas, and the shooting in Uvalde, the school shooting, is still in everyone's mind. So he is running against Greg Abbott, the current sitting governor, and Beto O'Rourke, was at a rally and talking about gun control, and somebody in the back laughed. You can't really hear it in this clip. I've tried a couple times. You can't hear it, but trust me, it's there. Beto O'Rourke heard the laugh while he's talking about gun control, turned around and dropped an F-bomb on the guy in front of everybody. It went viral. This is censored. Take a look.
That was originally designed for use on the battlefields in Vietnam to penetrate an enemy soldier's helmet at 500 feet and knock him down dead. Up against kids at 5 feet. It may be funny to you, motherfucker, but it's not funny to me, okay?
Okay. And after that happened, that clip goes viral. We know he's very passionate because he did the initial news conference out of Uvalde. He broke that up, and everyone, who was that? That was O'Rourke. Whether or not that situation called for it, or if passion can trump decorum when it comes to a politician, someone who you have elected, are you okay with that? So I'm watching that clip, and in that context, I didn't like that he swore. I got it, but I still... I think people might go, if you can't control your emotions in that very moment, there are better ways to do it. You can still call someone out and not have to swear. What do you think?
I'll give you my take. Tam, I'm interested in your take. And again, I called you in a little earlier, please. So politicians swearing, I'm not talking about the context, because there's different types of context. But generally, Mel's in our news department, Tam, you're in our news department. Are you okay with it?
I actually am okay with it. And I feel like context really has to be brought in some way. Like, we're all human. And I think depending on the situation, there are times like more serious chats where you talk about, of course, gun control and violence in that shooting in Uvalde where you're very passionate about it and it may slip. Other times when you're being attacked by a bee and it's something that slips. I just feel like we're all human. And to me, it actually, it kind of humanizes that person as well. They're not a robot, and it can happen from time to time, not on a regular basis, though.
I would agree with that on a couple of fronts. One, I think the more, look, it can't be a George Carlin stand-up routine every time for a politician, but I think the notion of politicians speak is starting to wear on people. Like if I have to hear our prime minister say he's got my back one more time, I don't need it. Like I don't need it. I know when people are sticking to the talking points and when they're not.
Yes.
So once in a while, sometimes we're, as human beings, we get so emotional about whatever subject, whether it's hockey or something way more important than that, I'll let something slip. I've done it on air.
But I don't think you have, not in that degree. Like, have you dropped the F-bomb here on Breakfast Television?
Not on air, no. Nor will I, to all of my bosses.
Hopefully not.
Nor will I.
See?
Nor will I.
Not do it. But this is my argument, is that you can find that control, regardless of how passionate you get about something. You will find that control. You can go off script and still find that control. For me, if you're an elected official, you need to find that control, because as a taxpayer, I want to be able to say you can do that.
True, as a sitting politician, but Tam, as someone who's running to be governor of a state that never elects a Democratic governor, I think he has found an issue here in gun control that he's looking across the state of Texas and thinking to myself, I think there's more Texans on my side here than they think.
Yeah.
And he is trying to tap in. He knew what he was doing there. He was trying to tap into a viral moment to go statewide where he thinks he has a shot at making history in a notoriously right-wing red state. And I think it was emotion, but I think it was kind of calculated as well. Final take, Tam, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I agree with Mel when it comes to that video in particular. I feel like his reaction was so swift. It was like, wow. It came out of nowhere. And I know that there is the laugh that's hard to hear, but again, he's in a room, I assume, full of supporters. And that
yes.
That was something that he screamed out. So in that sense, it's a little odd.
At Breakfast TV, you okay with politicians swearing? Whether it's B related or not, let us know at Breakfast Television on Twitter. Tam, appreciate it.
Thanks, Tam, and what you consider swearing too, right? Because some people saw that newser from the premier and went, what did he do wrong? And others went, whoa, you shouldn't have said that.
And again, if he went in any direction with that, having just swallowed a bee, I would have forgiven him.
You'd excuse it? Okay.
I understand. That's a pretty freaky moment.
There were dangly legs in there.
Oh, yeah. If it's a wasp, even worse.